Today we're going to paint a picture of Niagara Falls. Today, instead of a canvas, I'm using a piece of cardboard cut down to an 8 by 10 size. First, we're going to sketch out our view of Niagara Falls. This is a view from the Canadian side, based on a picture I once took there. We're going to start by drawing the horizon line, just about right down the middle, though this can be moved depending on your preferences. At the bottom of this picture is going to be billowing clouds of spray. Next, I'm going to define the brink of the waterfall. So this is going to be almost a long W shape because there are two curtains of this waterfall. One is going to come out from the left and ends almost in the middle, really, and then it's going to come out again from that point. I've drawn this twice because I thought I'd drawn it too wide the first time, and so I narrowed it up. After this, we're going to have a landmass on either side of the picture. These are very flexible. And finally, we're going to put in the clouds. Now, the clouds could be just free-handed in once we start painting. I've decided to define them right now. The only real rule on the clouds is that clouds higher up on the page should be larger than clouds lower down on the page to get a depth. What I've decided to do in this piece is to make the waterfall function as a pattern area. So instead of what would more authentically be the streams of water coming down, I've decided to make it blue stripes. I think this gives a fun effect. I have just freehanded in the stripes, though you could use a ruler and you could also tape them off to get cleaner lines. The paints used in this piece are a green, a blue, a white, and a yellow. This initial area here is a straight mix of 50-50 green and blue. Beginning in on the sky, we are going to use a white paint with a small amount of blue. Something that can give a nice effect on the sky is to try to paint in really swoopy movements to kind of get like a wind pattern, cloud pattern effect. I've painted the land masses in with green with a hint of yellow. We're now going to start in on the stripes. These are various mixtures of blue, green, and white in a sort of random pattern. Another fun way to approach this would to be to do it in a specific pattern, in a specific color pattern. However, I've done it just randomly. To fill in the clouds, we're going to start with a light purple. This is white, blue, and red. This is going to be the shadow of the cloud, though I'm going to mix this in a lot and you're not going to see much of it. Over this, we're going to paint our white. Now, clouds can be done very precisely or very chaotically. I've decided to paint these clouds chaotically, with many layers of light purples, whites, and yellows. The great thing about clouds, especially swoopy clouds like this, is that there's no wrong way to do them. The foam is going to be done very similarly to the clouds, and indeed it makes a nice visual parallel to have it be in similar colors as the clouds. I'm beginning with a very, very light blue and doing it in these swoopy, swirly motions. It's here that I decided to add the strong yellow highlights to the clouds to give another bright color into this picture. I did these a bit too strongly. I'm going to deaden them down with white. The foam will benefit from very light purples and from very light greens, as well as its own yellow highlight. Using these same principles, one can paint a much larger version of this same picture. And there we have it. If you learned something today, please comment or subscribe. I really appreciate it.